Here at the Giver Marketing Network, we don't leave you drifting out in space. We connect you to a coach who will help you build and grow your marketing business. Our process acts as a guide on how to connect with other businesses, maintain good relations, and establish a presence on the Giver Marketing Network. Each member within this collaborative group will have the opportunity to leverage your talent and influence, a true network effect. If you are looking to collaborate on more projects, welcome to the Giver Marketing Network, the most trusted and highest rated collective of specialists on the planet. Here we have a group of like-minded professionals who focus on making valuable introductions and helping each other grow by teaming up. Imagine Upwork meets a network and a coach. The talent collectively includes services like visibility and SEO, creating logos, designing websites, managing social media, outreach messaging, visual storytelling, and much more. Think of what you could do with laser-focused allies, strengthening your business while offering your talents to the entire network. Click near this video for more information.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Giver Marketing Network Masterclass. All the Kingdom Warriors out there, give us some comments in the chat box. Let's light it up. Let us know where you're listening from as well. Dimitry, are you excited?
Yeah, of course.
Come on, this is awesome, man. Dimitry is our web developer for Giver Marketing Network, and we've worked on different projects. He's worked on different projects with his lady, and he's going to share a little bit of his story on it, basically his journey of becoming a web developer, and his lady's a web designer, and they work together, and it's so fun. Dimitry, can you tell us a little bit of your background and how you got to do what you do before we get into some of the tools you're going to show us today?
Yeah, of course. Actually, I started my my steps in the web development as doing custom computers, because as a teenager we were doing a lot of gaming, and this was a lot of fun for us as teenagers. After that, I posted some applications form on a listening website that was actually selling goods, not digital goods. And I was doing my first project as a freelancer. Yeah, that time I didn't have as much experience as today, but yeah, it was really enjoying.
So you were
After
putting
that,
computers together, and then you ended up, if I understand this right, you ended up posting something or sharing something or letting people know in a physical goods marketplace that you do freelance
yeah,
work
I found
online.
I found the right category for that. That was something like maintenance for the computers. But yeah, I thought, okay, this could be a digital product. But yeah, after that, in 3 months, I think the website that I was doing the job listening, let's say, added a separate category for that. And after me, a lot of real companies started to sell
They made a
themselves.
category for you. I love this.
Yeah.
We got an
Yeah.
entrepreneur from a young age on our hands here, ladies and gentlemen. This is good. And how did you meet your lady? How did you guys start working together, and how did you connect?
Yeah, actually, we were studying in the same school, and one time I met with her because I knew she also started as a designer. She was doing photographs in Adobe Photoshop, so like tune up the images, posting good Instagram stories and things like that. And yeah, I like the idea that she can do such editing at 16 years old, because we were young that time. And yeah, after this connection, I said that I'm learning the development. I also do some projects, and if she can start like learning Adobe Illustrator, because that tool was using uh, for animations and all that stuff that was related to the internet. Uh, we can be a good team, and we ended up creating a company together.
Well, we know for sure you're a good team because of some of the work you've done with us and some of the work that I've seen in your portfolio and kind of hearing around the Giver Marketing Network. And obviously, other places are bragging about you as well. So, thank you for coming today and sharing with us some of the top tools that we can use to help with our websites and make sure that they're running the way that they need to be running. They're really, really valuable tools. And ladies and gentlemen, take lots of screenshots. Uh, it, Watch this twice if you need to make sure and learn about these tools. But Dimitri, I'm going to hand it over to you, and we're going to go ahead and I'm going to add this visual to the screen right now, and then we can go through it and learn more about these, not only the 3 top tools, but there's some bonus ones. So stick around, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have some fun. So Dimitri, tell us more about what you're going to be sharing, and you can see his company name at the top of the screen. So if you want to reach out to him personally, look him up on LinkedIn, Facebook. You can see his name, his company name, and you can definitely reach out to him and ask him more questions. But let's dive in. What do you got for us today?
Yeah, sure. So today we are going to talk about top 3 tools that you can use for your website. And actually, I can give you a bonus tip. Almost every tool in the internet is free. It is just the way they are selling it. So, for
Mm.
example, you can take a tool that's running a speed test on your website, but you can add like 2 more features, for example, a monthly report or things like that, and you can sell that stuff with 10 euros a month. But mostly everything you want to do on your website is completely free. It's just the way you're searching in Google. So the most important thing is try and learn how to search. This helps us a lot. Regarding tools, of course, some of them are automated, and the most important thing in the business, I think, is the automation. It's the time that you consume. So, for example, if you're doing some routine every day, you're spending a lot of time, and yeah, it's not reliable. You should focus on your business, and yeah, this way, a developer or a business strategist comes in and gives you some ideas that you can integrate. And of course, today we are talking about the free tools, but after that, you can do a completely different masterclass.
So you're telling us there's more to a website than just the pretty pictures and the visuals on the front end of a website. There's more that connects the back end, the front end, and all the user experience does include some of these tools that help make sure that you can track what's happening and be more intelligent about your web development. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, of course, because when you're seeing your website or a company website, it's not only the front end, the visual part, but you see the buttons and so on. It's really the back end, the things that are stored in, let's say, a kind of database, and that thing should be secured. And you as a company owner, or also as a web developer, should care about the security and the speed of that website, because you don't want to leak all your customer data in the internet, and
Obviously,
someone.
you can help with these things if we have no idea what you're talking about, but we know that we need someone that's smart, looking over these things and giving good feedback. You've given us some feedback as well. And so we're continually working together with you to learn more. Okay, Dimitri, what tools do you have for us today? Tell us more.
Yeah, top tools. First one will be the Google Analytics. This is a tool that Google offers, of course, but you can integrate on your website. You can see audience that is using your website. You can check the desktop or the mobile version they're using for. You can check the country, the source from where they're coming. And for example, if you're making some advertisement, it's a really good idea to use it because, as you know, on ads you see only the pay for click and the amount of clicks that were made. But after this, you'll be able to see the referral that are using. For example, if I share with you the website, I will share it with a UTM source, and me as a business owner that has access to the Google Analytics will be able to see that I shared a link twice. So it's maybe I will not be the customer that buys the product from that website where I saw the ad. Maybe you will be. So this is easier to track the analytics, the ads, and how your company is running.
So all the traffic and like where your traffic's coming from, how people are clicking around, just basic data for those that are visiting through the front door of your website, just the different pages and the different doors into your website, correct?
Yes, but I can say that the data is not so basic because you also have the entry time, the amount of time the user spent on your website.
Okay.
Also, they create a report for you. For example, average time that is used for your website, and also it's split in different pages. For example, if you it's not only for a homepage, it's for contact us as well. So
Okay, so
yeah,
let's say somebody takes Google Analytics and they connect it to their website, make sure it's all playing nice with Google, everything's connected so that they can track and monitor the data. What should they be looking for? Time somebody visits your pages, the amount of time on the pages, is that a good one to look for?
Yeah, you can also look for real-time data. For example, if you just implemented a Google Analytics to a website, better just go to the real-time tab and check yourself from, for example, enter your website from your smartphone and check if it's working correctly. And after,
So you can see if it's working in real time just by
yeah,
having another device visit the page, and then you can see it go up and down and how. But when it comes right down to it, you want to see how many people are visiting your pages, how long they're staying on your pages, and some of these kind of things, right? Is that
yeah,
the
sure.
value of the tool?
Yes, because this helps you a lot. For example, people are spending more time on a landing page, on the initial homepage, instead
Mhm.
of going to the book now. So if you are doing some kind of testing, you can create three different landing pages that points to the same website and just compare the analytics there. So see
Ah,
how
okay.
the people are scrolling, how much time they're spending on your website, and choose the page that has yeah, of course, the best results. And yeah,
Love
it's a
it.
lot of
Start
testing.
making some intelligent decisions around your website based on the not only the traffic but the conversion and the different activities and time frames and all the information and data that comes through. I love it. What This is a great tool. What's the next one?
Yeah, next one is Google Search Console. Uh, yeah, today will be the Google day because they're doing good stuff, of course. So, what's the Search Console? First of all, it's the SEO part of your website. Why the SEO is important? Because you don't want to pay thousands of dollars every month on a website, and when
You
you
said
stop it,
SEO, right? Search
yeah,
engine optimization. Is that what you said? Okay, good. I want to make
yeah, it's
sure.
yeah, it's search. Yeah, it's SEO. So you don't wanna be charged every month. Yeah, X amount of money. Only doing ads, and after you stop the budget, you have no one here in Google Analytics. So why should you use SEO for a website? Because it's free, first of all, but you should have a decent content, a good content. What a good content is, first of all, the content should be unique. Images should be unique as well. And with this, good SEO specialist can help you connect these two things. And in the end, you'll receive a website that has a unique content, unique images, and unique score in ranking, I think. Because
There's the
you'll be
key. I love it. I love it.
yeah, because you'll be better when your concurrents. So yeah, this is the success key for the SEO. And in this masterclass, I tried to integrate all of these tools to connect between them, because everything what we are talking right now is important. And you see, we started with analytics. Now we came to the search console, but after that we'll discover a new tool that's also important for your business. But yeah, we can continue here.
Great.
So what does Google Search Console does? First of all, it scans your website like twice a week, I think, and we're searching for bad stuff that's happening on your website. Of course, this tool should also be installed on your website with a tag or a file on the hosting. So yeah, it's not a big deal, but yeah, a person who understands how to install it correctly should do this job. What else this does? So it sends you mails like every week on how can you improve your website. For example, if you have a problem on it and you're not a specialist, you can just see the mail, create a task on Upwork, let's say, and someone can help you. And for example, if you're having an issue with your website and you don't want to be too general, because it will be really hard for people to to estimate the work they're doing. If you're saying my website SEO is very bad, so this tool helps you a lot. And
So this
even if
tool helps you with search engine optimization, which means more people will be able to find your website and all of your goodies connected to your business by leveraging this tool. What's next, Dimitri? Tell us what's next.
yeah, sure. The next one is the page speed insights. Of course, it's also from Google. What this does? So it's a tool that where you can track your website speed, and this doesn't track the speed only. This tracks the UX as well, because user
You
experience
said
is all.
UX. Can you explain UX, please?
Yeah, UX is the user experience of a website, of application. So, for example, what does the UX does? So, UX firstly is a button. For example, if you have a button and the call to action text is too light or too dark, and it's not so good visible, for example, as this logo here. You see, it has the opacity less than this one. So this is the UX, the thing that users see. And for example, if this would be a button, I wouldn't click it because it's not marked as a button.
Okay, and so this page speed insight helps the experience of someone coming to visit your website, because we've all been there where a website takes forever to load, especially on your mobile device or in a particular way. You go to certain pages and they come up so fast, and then
Yeah.
other ones it's like, hello, I was built in the 1990s and I'm still trying to load. And we don't want that, right? We want it to come
Yeah.
up fast. And so that's why you have people like Dimitri and others helping with your website, make sure it's fast. And
Yeah,
that's
of
what this
course.
tool is, right? It helps it come up fast. You click on a page, it comes up fast. You click on the website, the homepage, it comes up fast. Everything feels right. It feels
smooth.
clean. I love it.
Regarding speed, the most important thing is the images and the code, of course. But the most important thing is the images, because assets are taking a lot of space, and if an image has like 1 megabyte of storage, it takes forever to load, and even if you have the best code
So
on
you
the
could have
planet.
the same image, but the size of the file could determine how fast your website loads. You could have a similar image, but because the size of the image file that you chose was too large, it can go and load and slow down your website. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, and also, for example, let's say the example of this logo, our company logo. If here I was using logo that's like 10,000 on 3,000, so it's nonsense complete, because this thing should be maximum 500 pixels
Got it.
in
So the
width.
pixels and the size and the like just how the image is uploaded is a key to keeping your website running fast and smooth, and people can don't feel like it's locking up on them. So, okay, thank you
Yeah.
for sharing that tool, Dimitri. What's next?
Next I prepared some tools that are doing basically the same job as previous ones, but here we have also some plans, some paid plans, but as I said, they're still free. So GT Metrics. In the end, we will have a run through all of these tools to a example of a website, to a random website, and we'll
Yeah,
check
we
it.
want to see some of the examples of your work as well. So this tool does what
So in
differently or the
general,
same? Tell us more about this tool.
this tool just runs a audit of your website speed, and that's all.
Oh, website
And
speed audit. Okay, that's good.
yeah,
What's next?
this one is the same website speed audit. The difference between this is here sometimes they can give you a more complex report. Here some easy stuff.
More easy report to read. Okay, so speed is the key from what I'm seeing here on these tools so far. What's next?
Yeah, here is speed as well. It's the Google thing. Okay, here is the security, I can say, the
Security, yeah.
SSL. So this is a really complex website where you can track your website SSL test, and it runs like for 5 minutes, but it really scans every protocol on every device on every platform, and in the end you will see that your SSL is working well. This one is a new protocol that was developed for SSL. Why? Because when your website uses SSL, somehow the browser and the server should communicate this. And recently they created a new protocol that is named HSTS, that says that yeah, I have SSL already, so you shouldn't search for SSL in my headers.
What
So
does SSL stand for? What does it mean? Explain that to us.
SSL certificate. So
What does that
yeah,
mean?
the security protocol of your website. So this green thing that you are seeing on your website, and of course sometimes it can be red, is a thing how you transfer your data, and why we are using it. Because let's say, for example, you're on a public Wi-Fi, and you're trying to order some food, and you want to pay with your credit card or your PayPal. Someone uh, with with a dark mind can stay very on a simple laptop without any masks. So we'll just stay there, but we'll have a program that analyzes the traffic, and
So
they can.
basically, if you go anywhere in public, you want to go to websites that are safe,
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
people can't grab your private information, and the way that you know that they're safe is because they have an SSL or a security certificate of some kind like that.
Yeah.
And what you're saying here is this tool will help bridge the gap between some of the more advanced versions of security, correct?
Right. And also, when it comes to security headers, um, the connection between this also takes some milliseconds, and it's really important to try to delete this milliseconds as soon as possible,
Mhm.
because in the end you want to see a high-speed website.
Yeah, you want it fast and clean and easy. Okay, so what's next?
Next one is, of course, the same SSL check,
Mhm.
but it's really fast and it's just for real-time checking.
Okay, so you got these pages where people are paying on your website and different things are happening, and you want to check the speed and the security. The speed and the security, ladies and gentlemen. Type that in the
Uh,
chat box. Speed and security, because that's what a lot of what Dimitri's talking about outside of just kind of general analytics.
uh, so next tool is the security headers. What does a header is? Actually is the thing that you can display on your website. And for example, if you're having a landing page that has images,
Mhm.
that has some basic texts and MP3 player, you'll write down your security headers as a developer there, so no hacker can implement a code on your website, and this way you you have the ability to stop a vulnerability of a script that you're using for a website.
Yeah,
So in
we don't want to invite these black hat, kind of nefarious and dark uh, folks in that want to try to hack our computers. We don't want
Mhm.
to let them have any access to anything, and these tools will help us do that. It used to be you could just build a website, and it was fairly, insignificant back in the early days. But now you have to have this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Otherwise, you are literally inviting people to come and take your information, take down your website. I remember I was on a website, and it was a Christian website of a ministry of some kind. And I went on the website, and somebody had hacked this page or this website, and thousands of people were come. If I said the name, you would recognize it. Thousands of people were coming to this website, and it was hacked. Somebody had gotten into it and started doing some funky stuff, and it was not Christian. Let's just say it that way, okay? It was wild and crazy what was coming up on these pages, and so they fixed it. But if they would have had all this ahead of time, then they probably would not have had that problem. So, what other tools do we have, Dimitri?
yeah, in general, these are all of them.
There they are.
I can also share a tool that you can. It's not online, of course. You can just use it for yourself. Let's say um, here in the Google Chrome, if you're using it, you can click on Inspect.
Okay.
Then here you have a PC with a PC with a telephone, I think, with a smartphone. Click on that, and now you can test your website responsiveness on almost every screen. For
Every
example,
piece of it. Okay. So the
yeah,
responsiveness, how quick it is, how clean the code is, how everything is functioning.
yeah,
Wow. Okay. So we're talking some nerdy tools, man. I like the nerd factor here. This is really good.
uh,
Dimitri, people are probably wanting to know before we get into kind of group discussion time with Christine and maybe one other person. Um, People are wanting to know a little bit more about what does your work look like on the front end. If somebody wanted to contact you and you and your lady could help build a website that's, yes, it's fast and secure, but also what does it look like? Do you have examples of some of the work that you've done, some of the websites
uh,
you've worked on?
Yeah, sure. If we are talking about the
Your
visual part,
portfolio. Yeah.
I can grab in this website. So this is
Oh,
a
okay.
yeah, this is a website that we are using a lot of animations, and some people like it, some people don't.
And you
But
built this website, and you and your lady do the front end and the back end of this website, correct?
yeah, sure.
Good.
So my Valeria, the designer, did the design for this website. I, as a full stack developer, did the website itself, the
Mm-hmm.
security, the speed, and all that stuff. And the thing that you see that's that's running here,
Mm-hmm.
it's yeah, it's done programmatical.
Okay.
So yeah.
Very nice. Very clean. Can you show us the portfolio of all the different websites that you have been working on over the last, year or so?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe just scroll down so people can see the imagery and just kind of the style. And yeah, just keep scrolling down there. Keep scrolling down. Awesome. Great. Yeah, keep scrolling down. So these are the style. This is the style. Every web designer has a style. Every web developer has a way that they improve the speed, security, and all these other kinds of things in a website as well. But they're full stack, ladies and gentlemen. When it comes to syntax, they are full stack. So you want to connect with Dimitri, ask him any questions you have. And speaking of questions, Christine, do you want to join me and maybe we can pull down the visuals at this point? Let's make sure and uh, make it easy for people to connect with Dimitri as well. I know that his website was scrolling across the bottom of the screen there, but hey, everybody, good to see you.
Hi.
We may mute a few people just, because you get some background noise sometimes. But other than that, let's see if we have any questions for Dimitri about websites. Like, what should we do? What should we not do? How important is this? How important is that? What did you mean by this? Like, these kind of questions, I think, would be super helpful for the audience and those who are watching the recording as well, for future reference. So let's get real. Let's ask some questions that would make sense. And who wants to start? Who wants to start by asking? Joel, what do you got?
Hey, that's a great presentation, and certainly appreciate your deep knowledge and skill. And I'm just curious. I understand WordPress has gone through some renovations, and site speed was one of those high priorities. What platforms are you currently building your websites on, and have you seen any transition in that area, of moving from a WordPress to a different platform, or moving WordPress from one server space to another? How do you negotiate the speed and efficiency of the websites that you're building?
Yeah, let's say, first of all, if the website is already built, of course, if the hosting is not so good, we need to migrate it. It's not a problem for us. Also, I saw you asked a question in the comment side here. So what platform do you build on websites, right? So, okay, I'll try to answer both of these. So in the last years, I saw a significant increase in security for WordPress because, yeah, in the beginning, they were just like a content management system and they had a lot of bugs, but now they really worked on this, and even if it's an open source platform, it's really enjoyed working with them and with their application. So yeah, basically we are doing WordPress as well, but it really depends. And if I can recommend where to build websites, I can say like this: if you wanna do a website on your own, but you don't have a knowledge as a developer, better go with something like Webflow, Wix, because there the people already worked on the security and you have access only to the front end. And yeah, you don't need to worry about the security and all that stuff. But if, yeah, you're working with a company, of course, ask them to prepare a portfolio, and you can also ask about the platform and the downsides, the good sides of it. Basically, if it's a simple business website, WordPress is fine. Just custom one, not themes from internet, because this can end up very bad. Yeah.
Good. Who's got another question for Dimitry? Thanks for the question, Joel. Really appreciate it. Christine, you got something?
Well, I was just noticing that Ginger who was asking about Webflow, and there it was. He just mentioned it. So how's that for perfect, right?
Yeah, Webflow and Wix, and there's a few others probably. Dimitry would say it's okay to start there, and then at some point you want to graduate into something that feels a little bit more you, has some pieces that just not only look like you, but actually function like you and have deeper customized pieces. And that's when you would want to talk with Dimitry even before you start any of those, just so he can give you honest information.
Absolutely. Here's a follow-up question that kind of goes really well with what you were just talking about. It says, because themes can have security issues, question mark. Right. So I think maybe people weren't aware of that. You want to talk a little bit about that? Because you mentioned about getting themes off the web.
Yeah, so I see the security issues regarding themes. Of course, if some bad people, let's say, some hackers, let's say, not bad people, sees that a theme is being used on a lot of websites, we're trying to find the vulnerabilities there. And here when the bad thing comes up, because you're using the same theme as 1,000 websites, and your website is automatically in the vulnerability list as theirs. So you should take care about it, and of course, just don't forget to update everything, but take a backup before that, because updates in WordPress, it's a bad idea without any backup. Also, WordPress plugin for loading speed. Of course, good WordPress plugin for this is WeFree Total Cache. It also has the ability to store the cache, and if you're using a good hosting, like DigitalOcean or things like that, it's really easy to set up this plugin. But the best thing you can do with your WordPress is to find a really good hosting for that. First of all,
are there certain themes you recommend?
Things? What do you mean?
The theme, like the WordPress themes that you feel are maybe okay to start with?
The best thing is to go on Envato, on the theme forest, and purchase a premium theme, but have a look, take care about updating. So if you see that the theme is currently not available for any updates for 3 or 4 months, just take another one, because better take a theme that's updating regularly, like once a month, instead of buying one that was last updating in half a year. So it's Ginger, I saw a comment here. Can plugins introduce vulnerabilities as well?
Yeah, so plugins, is that a problem with vulnerability when it comes to plugins?
Of course. You can use for that WordFence. I'll write in chat. So when it comes to WordFence, this is the best plugin you can use for your WordPress website. I see that WordPress thing is developed fine, and everyone is asking about it. Yeah, of course, because it's popular. I think 70% of websites on the internet are building it. So WordFence is a good solution, and it doesn't require any tech knowledge. on, for example, if you have a special setting there, they have information for you, and it's really easy to understand what this setting is doing, and you can't really break your website because everything is so clear. And
it's always nice to talk with someone like you, Dimitry, that helps us improve our website without breaking it. Because we all obviously need to continually monitor it. We always say that brands are like babies, and so if we want our brand to be represented online well and not look, out of sorts, then we probably want to talk to you and at least ask you some of these questions. So thank you for answering them directly. There are some web people, some marketing professionals that I've noticed will not answer questions directly. They'll answer questions in a way that says, well, jump through these hoops and then I'll tell you the answer. And I want to let you know that I really respect that and I honor that. And that's one of the reasons you're such a big part of our network. And I highly recommend people reaching out to Dimitry if it just means asking a couple of questions. Speaking of questions, Christine, do you have anything else that's been popping up, or Joel, or anybody? Oz, do you have any questions at all? Who has the next question?
We have questions popping up still. So if anybody in the room wants to ask questions too, we've got one saying, Dimitry, have you used Microsoft Clarity by any chance? If yes, what's the difference between it and Google Analytics? And I don't know if that's something you're familiar with or not, but.
I can say that as a web developer, we are not so well known with the last analytics applications because we are just implementing them. And I didn't use the Microsoft one, but if you want a pro tip regarding analytics, let's say, for example, if you want a custom analytics that can really record the user interface, you can use Hotjar. It's Hotjar for that. It's also free. Of course, they have some pro plans, but for testing your website after it was launched, it's a good idea because you never know what bugs can you face, and maybe for someone who is using a Android Pixel or a Galaxy Fold, your website could look not so good. And in the beginning, I recommend using this tool, especially if it's free. And even if it wasn't, it's also a great tool for dealing with your website.
These are some bonus tools, ladies and gentlemen. I would definitely write these ones down. WordFence, Hotjar. These are some good tools.
So is Hotjar a custom analytics? Is that what that was?
It's a custom analytics, and
there you go, Hotjar.
The thing is, we're making something like a screen recording of the users, and in the same time we're also creating hot maps of your website. So we're making a full screenshot of your page, and with red is where the users scroll the most, and for example on the bottom of the page you have a blue. So it's really beautiful to look and test it.
Such a nerd. You're such a nerd, Dimitry. I love it. I love it. All right. What other questions do we have in the room? I know they're coming like crazy in the comments, and those will be helpful for others as well. But I want to make sure as we kind of start landing the plane here that we don't. What questions do we have in the room? Awesome.
So we use Wix for our websites, and I know that you talked about some security issues as far as themes go in WordPress. Is that the same thing as far as Wix?
For the Wix, you can really change a lot there. Only the SSL certificate, and for the SSL part, I'll come up with a new tool, a free tool. You can use Cloudflare for that. So you can use Cloudflare because there you have access to more stuff. For example, as mailing records, SPF records. So it's really easy to manage your website there, even if you don't have direct access to your hosting.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, this can get overwhelming. This can get wild and crazy and nerdy. This can get a little bit beyond our current understanding of something. Do not fear the unknown, but find someone who knows about the unknown. That is what we're trying to encourage today, and we've taken the jump into working with people like Joel and Christine and others, and Dimitri's now part of this team that just says, look, we want this to be fast, we want to be secure, we want it to make sense, we want people to be able to click around and not get lost or confused. We want this to actually be a good experience on the front end, but then also the data ends up being trackable and you can make intelligent decisions when it comes to kind of analyzing this traffic and the ways that people are interacting with your website. These heat maps and all these other things that Dimitry was talking about, it become extremely important as you grow. It's one of those things where you're literally seeing where people are hovering their mouse on the screen. Like you literally can see like, oh, they're just like hanging out right in this area. And so this is kind of the hot area for this page. And some of this stuff is just outrageously interesting if you're in the space. Just to be aware that they exist, these tools, is a win for you and me and everybody else that's listening and watching. The next step would be to just hang with Dimitry for a few minutes. And he's great on Zoom and just interactive and showcases different possibilities. And obviously you can see he answers a lot of great questions. You can even email him and he'll answer some questions that way. But really, I recommend starting with an email, but eventually getting into that Zoom chat with him and seeing what he can do to help take you to another level, either now or in the future, just depending on what you need. And he'll tell you, you don't need that yet. You need this. You need to do this first, not this. And that's one of the main things I've seen, Christine, in the marketing world. Joel, you could probably speak to this too, is there's a lot of good things we can do, but what comes first, second, and third? When just because somebody does particular aspects of marketing or promote, parts of your business, that doesn't mean that needs to happen first. This needs to happen first, then this, then this. That's why I love that Dimitry and his lady tackle both the front end and kind of that nerdy back end of the website to be able to create a full stack experience. So he's going to let you know, look, we don't need to tackle this yet, but this is something you want to think about for later. Oh, great. Okay, I got it.
Well, and Timothy, just to back up what you're saying, the significance of what this is, right? A lot of times we're like, oh, I need a website. Oh, I need to run ads, right? There's steps you kind of need in between. And that's really what we're tying into. It's that back end of the website, those Google Analytics, right? Do you know where people are stopping? Are they going to your page and not buying what you want them to buy or not taking action on whatever it is you want them to take action on? If you don't have that back end and if you can't see where the hot spots are and where people are jumping and leaving, right, you don't know what to adjust on your website to get the results that you're looking for. So this is really important. You don't want to be pouring that ad money down the drain, right, Joel?
Yeah, no, exactly. And also want to just say another reason that you want to get with Dimitry or your webmaster, depending, is, a lot of what we've talked about today is introducing the initial startup. But if you've had a website for a few years, chances are the theme that you're using and the code that you're using has expired or degraded in some way. And we actually had a client recently whose GoDaddy platform, the actual technology of the platform changed that upset the functionality of their website on the front end. So it wasn't really anything that they did on their site. It was what happened with the technology on the back end. So as technology improves, security patches get added, all kinds of plugins get added over time. All of that needs to be monitored, and you will need someone like Dimitry who knows how to navigate what's happening on the intricate side of the technology to make sure that your website is functioning. It could be, you've had the same theme or template and you haven't really done much with your website for 2 or 3 years. Chances are something's broken in there, and it's no fault of your own. So you need to have somebody like Dimitry to go in and do a nice forensic and make sure it's clean, it's running, it's secure, and you're not vulnerable in any way.
So if I'm hearing you right, Joel, a website is no longer like a static brochure like it was in the 1980s and 90s. It is really a moving vehicle that continually needs to be updated so that you can take people where you want them to go. And it's really an active management type of experience that or asset that needs to be looked at continually, so that when people hop in your vehicle, they're not totally confused or vulnerable to security breaches, for that matter. You don't want people getting beat up while they're in your vehicle. I mean, that's not a good idea, right? I mean,
yeah, stuff breaks. Right. I mean, break the technology in the back end breaks, and you just have to have someone that knows what to look for and how to fix it to keep you safe.
Yeah, this is not a set it and forget it thing anymore with websites. If you set it and you forget it and you've forgotten it for a while now, you probably need an expert to come in and untangle the mess that's in the back end that you don't even realize that is there. Things that are broken that shouldn't have been broken, but they are, right? Through no fault of your own. But you need somebody that knows the language.
Christine, how often do you think Dimitry and you and I talk about just even some of the websites we're working on right now? Maybe 2 or 3 days? Like, we're just like, hey, can you check this? Hey, can we redirect this? Hey, can we make sure this isn't broken? Hey, is this slowing things down? Hey, what do we do with this image? It just seems to be like one of those amazing assets that so many people need to know you're a legitimate business or organization by having a functioning website that gives real clear calls to action, and it works properly without bringing any safety issues or security issues as they're going through the kind of the checkout or the call to action process. And so I appreciate this, Dimitry. Really good job today.
And I think somebody like us, right, that's doing high level artwork, and if you're using complicated images, and how do you deliver good quality at speed? I'm sure Oz and some of the others that are doing, that level of work needs someone like a Dimitry to make sure that it's functioning at the most optimum and efficient way.
Great comment, especially with the high resolution images, how to place those properly on a page. I mean, someone like like Oz is in the digital art space, but he also has physical. Like that sweatshirt that he's wearing that hoodie he's wearing right now is legit. I want one of those. I'm kind of jealous right now. But ultimately, these different physical items or digital pieces from these artists, and a lot of these influencers are now becoming almost like de facto artists. Like, they're putting out stuff that's like, how did you get a photo shoot like that? Like, that's insane. And all the AI coming into the mix and all this. We definitely want to have a part 2 with Dimitry to talk about these kind of pieces and imagery, and maybe his lady can come on. We can talk about kind of the front end and how artificial intelligence is affecting like the front end and the back end, because there's just a lot going on right now. But listen, thank you, Dimitry. And once again, look up Dimitry Bizga on LinkedIn, Facebook, Google his name, Google his business name. Him and his lady will take very good care of you. He's always said what he's done and done what he said. And that is hard to find in the web development world. Like, it's really, really hard to find. So thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you soon. Next week, same time, same channel. And then Christine, you have one other thing to mention.
We do. On Wednesdays, we have networking for marketers. So if you are a marketer or you know a marketer, let them know, reach out to us, and let's get you tagged in. And that's givermarketing/networking. And that will get you there. Sign up and come join us and hang out with us tomorrow every Wednesday.
Awesome. So givermarketing.com/networking is the kind of the registration page. It's free, no cost at the time of this recording. That could change. I'm just saying, jump in while you can. But we're glad to be able to kind of have an open room of conversation with networking type people who are in the marketing space, want to learn about white labeling each other's services. Hint, hint, hint for Dimitry. Very good tool, service and product to white label. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're in the marketing space, reach out to Dimitry. He is more than open to working with you in a creative way that way. Okay. So God bless you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.